start with Chris on the front row.
James, how would you describe today's physical practice in the sense of putting on pads, getting after it, and what you took away from it?
The first day in pads is always a crazy one. You know, you're just trying to knock some rust off. You know, get used to hitting guys, especially with not having like a thin layer on versus padding. I would say the intensity was good, but we definitely could have done way more.
We'll stay there for Brendan.
Following up on that, when we talked to Coach Norvell, he liked the start, he liked the finish. He said there was a part in the middle of the practice that just needed more intensity. Did you kind of feel a similar thing, and how did you feel you guys responded?
Yeah, for sure. I felt like once we got to the tempo period, we let the humidity and the speed of how fast we were moving kind of get to us. I kind of take personal ownership of that as someone who's a leader in the D-line room, and I felt like as a group, the D-line didn't come out and hit it right away, like even in the middle of practice. And I thought once we changed our intensity and we regrouped and got back together, it got way better at the end. I think as long as we're moving fast, and especially even the O-line for the offense, like that's what dictates everything.
We'll go to Ira back on your right.
Can you just refresh us on like where you're at right now versus like when you came in to Florida State, and how are you carrying that, especially in this heat? Like how's that going?
Yeah, the heat's been a difficult adjustment, but it was hot for me back in the spring when it was 70 degrees. I'm sure it was normal weather for all you guys, but no, I've been trying to get used to it and adjust to it. The losing 6 to 7 pounds after every practice is hard, but it's a challenge I embrace. I want to make sure I get more hydration, do extra, eat extra meals and all that kind of stuff. I gained 20 pounds since I've been here, so shout out to Coach Storms and our nutrition staff, Jaden, Emma, all of them. But just the journey and making sure that I continue on. It's not a destination, but it is a journey.
Come back to Brendan on the front.
When we were out there the other day, Coach Knighton was, the right way to phrase it, he was emphasizing run defense.
You talking about the clip where he said I'm only a pass rusher?
Yeah. But for you, like obviously you guys have a close relationship. That's what you want to get better at. You talked about that. So I guess that dynamic at play, how important is that to have someone stressing that to you in the way he does?
Right. When you have someone as great as T. Knight as your coach, there's never anything that's good enough, and that's something that I really admire about him. He's not only a smart man off the field, but really on the field as well. And there's never nothing that I can't learn from him or nothing new that I can't expect from him. He knows my talents as a pass rusher, but he also understands my weaknesses, and this is the time to work on that. I can work on pass rush as much as I want, but if I'm already good at it, why would I want to continue to work on it? He knows I need help in the run game. It's not horrible, but I could always be better, and that's something that he strives for. That's his way of pushing me. He pushes Daryl just like that. He pushes Dan like that. He pushes everybody in the D-line room like that, and that's really one of the reasons I admire and respect him so much.
We'll go to the second row with Liam.
With Daryl too, we've heard and seen how vocal he's become in that room. You two are both leaders there. Just what is that dynamic like, and what has it been? Just I can see a smile creeping on your face just playing with him out there.
Yeah, no, I was talking about it with him and Tina earlier, but I love D-Jack. He's the most talented player I've ever played with. He's big, explosive, can do anything he wants to. But as I was mentioning beforehand, that T-Knight doesn't let him do his own thing, and the rest of us get coached hard. He coaches him hard too. And I think we kind of found respect for each other, is that we're two of the hardest working guys out there. We're always in here trying to make sure that like the end goal is the end goal. We both have championship aspirations. We don't have we don't want to just be 6-6 or 7-5. Like we want to do absolutely great things, and I think that's where the respect comes from. But the love for D-Jack really came from our time in like the meeting rooms and all the time we spent off the field. He's made me feel really welcome since I came to Florida State, and as following him as the leader, it's really important that we have a good connection, and I think we really do. We're going to do special things together.
All right, we'll go to Aslan, front row on your right.
Jason Jenkins is the guy who wasn't able to really do anything with you guys in the spring. I think Coach Norvell said he was hoping to get him back halfway through. When we were out there on the first day, we saw him kind of moving around. What have been your impressions with him on the field, and I guess also in the meeting room?
Yeah, so Jank is very, very intelligent. He's very smart about what he does. He's very intentional about what he does. I'm really proud of him because he's done quite a bit of excellent work off the field to try and get back to this point. He beats Coach Norvell here every single day for treatment, which that's hard to do. That man works really hard. So I'm really proud of Jake. I think he's coming along really well, and I can't wait to see where he goes.
We'll go back to Ira in the back.
I know Gunnar and Michael were both limited in the spring. What have been your impressions when you have gotten to go against them? And then also, like, how excited are you to get to go against them and just in terms of making you better?
Yeah, I was a little upset in the spring that they couldn't participate, but I mean that's out of their control. I've been really impressed with both of them. They're both veteran players. They're both very smart. They're both really hard workers, and going against them is never an easy task in either the run or pass game. I think it's more of an iron sharpens iron type mentality where, even if I lose one rep and then win one rep, they're both like right back up there ready to compete, and that's what I love about them. I'm even using Micah and Gunnar as both practice for the rest of the games, like what kind of archetypes of offensive linemen I'm going to go against. So, being able to work against them in practice, I feel like is going to make the games much easier.
We'll go to Nick, front row on your left.
So we talked to Omar a little bit ago, and he talked about the speed of going against Gus Mills on offense, and obviously he's going to see things rather a little bit differently than you from the line as he's a linebacker. But what are some of the things that you noticed going against that offense in pads? So maybe some challenges that offense presents.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't play them in an official game. That would be rough. But no, the offense is very fast paced, but I think that really helps us. People are not going to be able to be used to the speed of it, the speed of Tommy, the speed of the play calls, all that kind of stuff. I think it puts us a good advantage, and it puts the defense right now when we're in training camp in good position because if we face a tempo offense this year, I feel like we'll be in good shape and condition, and we'll be able to play longer and throughout more of the season because hey, we're training harder right now, and the games, it's not going to be that bad.
We'll go to Peter, second row in the middle.
James, right.
Sorry.
You mentioned about that you gained 20 pounds going into the camp. Is there anything that specifically or anything in particular with your diet or with your workouts that Coach started put you on that led to gain 20 pounds?
Sorry, you're saying like a change in my diet and like training and stuff like that?
Yeah, stuff like that.
I credit a lot of that to my new fiance. She's been really great off the field for me, helping me, change my diet around, cut out fast food. Like I said to you guys before, the carnivore diet, just making sure that I'm as healthy as possible, cutting out all kinds of bad stuff off the field, like staying up late and recovering. I recently bought myself a pair of Normatec boots so that way I could recover, and that was her idea. But as for on the field stuff, I think learning from guys like T-Knight and D-Jack and even Coach Norvell, guys who have been around, who have seen people who are great recover and take care of themselves off the field, I think that's been my biggest jump as a player at Florida State. Watching all of those guys be great has just wanted me to be great too.
All right, Brendan.
Who are some of the younger guys on the defensive line who stood out, especially today, getting to see how they handled first day at pads?
Yeah, I got to see a lot of those guys in spring. Got lots of good intentions from them. I think all of them can at one point be dominant football players here. Some guys that have stood out to me are the Desir twins. They got some stuff to work on, but I really think that they can be dominant players at this level. I've also seen Juju take a huge step forward. Especially in his recovery process. I've been really impressed with him. He's a hard worker, and he's really fun to be around as well. But like I said, all the guys are working hard, and I really think that every single one of them can make an impact at some point.
All right, last one, we'll go back to Ira.
And I guess with Stephon in Nebraska, maybe he went through some injury things. It wasn't 100% all the time. And what does he look like now compared to then? I think somebody said that he's looking more like the guy that put up bigger numbers earlier in his career. Like, how does he look right now compared to maybe we saw?
I think Steph's happier and more confident. We went through some personal things in the past, and I really think that helped change him and shape him into a better player. Obviously, like you said, he was a dominant statistical player earlier in his career, and he didn't quite have that kind of year at Nebraska, and I think that was credited to, like I said, some of the stuff he was going through. But I'm really proud of Steph because he's really turned it around. His attitude has completely changed. He's working really hard. He's all over the field on basically every play. I'm really proud of him. We've even worked at some pass rush kind of stuff with him, and he looks great in that too. I just think that's happiness and confidence, because that's the stuff I've always known. The dip in production I don't think is anything under the radar at all.
All right, sorry, one more. Liam, in the second row.
When you mentioned the happiness and confidence and the belief, how much can that change a player? As you mentioned, Steph, or even someone throughout camp who maybe struggled early and then gets that confidence and belief. How much can that change a player and just the team's mentality?
I think that can change everything. You know, if you're someone who's not happy with what you're doing, you're never putting full effort into it. So you're never getting the best of what you can do. I would say that's been me too since I've been to Florida State. I've been very, very happy with my time here, and you know, even though I'm getting pushed hard, I love it. You know, I love that Coach Norvell and Coach White and T. Knight don't let me stop. So you know, that's how I know Steph's playing better, is because anybody who plays happy and anybody who does it, like if you guys didn't enjoy doing this, would you do it? No, it's hard, isn't it? Like everything that you want to, anything that you want to do in life should be hard. But you know, I'm really proud of him, like I said before, and I just really feel like an overwhelming sense of joy and happiness. It really feels, I can feel it in the locker room.
All right, thanks, James.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.